GameCola faithful, and welcome to the GameCola podcast. This is podcast number 110, and I am your host and podcast commander, as always, Joseph Martin. With me today, I have a lovely group of people, as I always do. The podcast just, always has some pretty good things, doesn't it? We have Diana Gray, Colee second thing, and Alex Jedraszczak. So that's the introductions, and then now you introduce yourselves, as is standard.
Hey guys, I'm Diana Gray, GameCola.net's resident fangirl, and I'm actually not playing a video game, I'm eating Chipotle.
How dare you? How dare you say that to me?
Hi, I'm Colee, your resident watermelon scientist, back at it again.
Yeah, when I was reading through the name things, I was like, Colee, I should say a second thing, but all it says is watermelon scientist. I was like, no one's,
Colee,
that's not like,
watermelon scientist.
It's just going to be a complete non sequitur to anyone who hasn't seen Podcast 107. I think it's Podcast 107. I think it's the one that just went up on the YouTube channel this
did
week.
It?
Yeah.
It did.
Nice.
So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to step all over your introduction. Jeddy,
fine.
Jeddy, you're on the podcast.
Yes, Jeddy, your resident editor-in-chief.
Everyone's stealing my thing.
It was such a good theme.
See, the problem,
I've been doing that forever.
See, the problem is that you're always, now that we're in Discord, you're always at the top
I'm always
because
first.
you're Ace Fangirl, and I just read everyone in order now
Such a good
to make
example.
sure that I get everyone. Because in Skype it was random. In Skype everyone's like pictures were just random assortment. And I would try to mix it up even still sometimes, but now I just read it. So
Great.
Well, no, we don't
Sorry,
always have
Jeddy,
this.
I stepped all over your introduction.
good job. Jeddy has changed his name to A plus Jeddy, so
Hey!
we will now avoid you being first every single time, Diana.
I'm number one.
Okay.
Oh, that would be even better. That would probably put me even more at the top.
Oh my
Number
god.
one, Jeddy. With the pound
one,
sign.
Jeddy.
So in alphabetical order, does the pound sign come before? Hold on. Now I need to change my name and see if I go
Symbols
Oh my
usually
god.
come before numbers.
Hold on. Let's see.
But which symbol would come before the number sign?
Yep. No, you're still higher. Okay.
One number,
Wait.
Joseph.
Anyway, video
What
games.
number, Joseph?
Video games. Video games. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but there were a lot of video games recently, in recent times, as you may or may
Yes,
not be aware.
That is true.
We do have a lot of video games in this era of gaming.
I do appreciate that about this era of gaming.
I'm talking about E3, if that wasn't clear as to what I was trying to segue into.
Yeah, I knew that.
So yeah,
E3.
E3, the Electronics Entertainment Expo. Even though there are rumors that it's not even that's not even an acronym anymore. It's just E3 now.
Oh,
I
it's
think
like
that's
when
true.
it's like when KFC stopped being Kentucky Fried Chicken and they just became KFC.
KFC.
What?
I think-
You can't just change your acronym.
No, you're not changing
They
the
didn't
acronym.
change the
you
acronym, they just got
changed-
rid of it.
Yeah, they just don't have
That's
it
even
anymore.
worse.
It's like that one Timon and Pumbaa cartoon where Rafiki let someone undo the wish, and he's like, "But I only get one wish," and he's like, "I'm not granting another wish. I'm just taking back the first wish." It's a loophole.
It is still called the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Well,
Google
then
it?
the internet lied to me, so
Yeah, I literally
That's-
googled E3 and it says Electronic
that doesn't
Entertainment
mean they
Expo.
haven't changed it. Maybe they haven't changed their website yet.
I'm pretty sure E3 would be on top of their website.
I'm like maybe like the date, Google doesn't pull from the front page. There's like underlying data that it gets, and maybe that wasn't changed.
Caching
True.
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jetty said something that sounded smart, so I'm gonna agree with it.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
The internet,
The internet.
not like my router or anything, like the actual internet.
But have
Turn
you
it all
tried?
turn it all off and turn it all back on. Sounds
Yes.
like a good strategy. Did anybody watch E3?
I did.
I saw some of it.
Not all
Jetty,
of it.
you had a.
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna,
watched some of it.
We're gonna go on probably a big Nintendo rant because that's what most of the people hear. But Jetty,
yeah.
why don't you start us off, because you had a story that none of us are entirely sure actually happened. But I would like to hear about this because it
Me
might
too.
be an exclusive. Maybe you're the only one who tuned into this in the
I
whole
might
world,
have been.
and this
It was,
may be the only relic of its existence.
It was pretty late at night. I say pretty late, by which I mean maybe 10 p.m.
Don't get crazy now, Jeddy. Are you getting
Okay,
enough sleep?
This isn't as sketchy as I first thought it was going to be.
No, so I'd been kind of like tuning in, tuning out, not really caring about E3, like looking over and being like, oh, something about PlayStation games, though. There's one about zombies, and, what a surprise. So there's some guy shooting somebody. But then, like, at some point, I hear, like, in the background, Tim Schafer. I'm like, oh, Tim Schafer, I know that guy, Telltale, all that, adventure games. And then they're like, and here's Jack Black. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should watch this. What's going to happen?
I would watch that.
Plot twist.
Apparently, Jack Black was in Brutal Legend. If you guys are familiar with that game.
I'm
Is
not.
that the one? Is that the one where it's like
It's the
Vikings
one starring
versus?
Jack Black.
It's not the one where it's like Vikings versus Samurai versus Medieval Knights. It's not that one.
No. What does Wikipedia have to say? Brutal Legend is an action-adventure video game with real-time strategy game elements created by Double Fine Productions and published by Electronic Arts for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. The game was released during October 2009 in North America, Europe, and Australia.
Okay, I'm with you.
I have not played such a game.
I've not played it either, but
I think I was still playing Super Mario Galaxy at that point.
The game
Such a
features...
good game.
yeah, wait, what does it have?
The game features the character of Eddie Riggs, voiced by and modeled after Jack Black.
What? Why?
So apparently the guys have a bit of a history, and like I couldn't tell from the quote interview because it was supposed to be Jack Black interviewing Tim Schafer.
Well, that's probably not going to go well.
But I couldn't tell, like, was this like they had worked together and they just happened to be on stage together, or was this like they're buds, they hang out, and this is just kind of an extension of that? They're doing it on TV now. Because it wasn't really an interview unless you count Jack Black occasionally pulling out his cell phone to get a list of questions, which was like, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Which, if you guys are familiar with Jack Black, is part of one of his skits.
Okay. I'm just saying, on this criteria, I feel that I could have applied for a press pass for E3 and gotten accepted.
You didn't even need a press pass this year.
Yeah, I know,
apparently.
but then it would have cost money. It was actually really expensive. I looked into it because I thought about going because I do live really close, but it was like $300.
It is. Yeah, it is.
And I was like, I'm poor.
It is pretty expensive.
Also, I have to work. So I did not go to E3. The end. But now that I know this story about Jack Black, I should have done it.
We gotta get GameCola up in the charts so that we can get Diana a press pass.
I'm just saying, I would do it. I would go. I would take one for the team.
Oh, we'd appreciate
And
your
go to E3.
You'd have to
But-
record yourself like doing stuff though. You wouldn't just get to
duh.
like go.
And then we never heard from her again.
Are you kidding? I would record myself doing everything just to make you guys Jeddy, did you just put 3 number signs in front of your name so you'd be better than me?
I have to be number one.
I'm about to say he's asserting his dominance.
You're not even number 1. You're just number.
No, according to the ordering of this thing, that's even better.
Okay, sorry, I got distracted in the middle of my sentence, but that sentence wasn't really going anywhere, to be honest with you. So,
But
get me to E3 next year. That should be our goal. Everyone work toward that this year.
I think
that
that
your
was our goal.
campaign speech?
I think that was our goal last year too.
That was our goal last year, and it didn't happen. But this year, it's gonna happen.
I know we used to try to send Michael Gray to
Yeah,
E3.
when he lived down here.
Yeah. And they required like a bunch of paperwork, including
They do require a bunch
like,
of paper.
business cards.
Yeah, they do, and I'm like, I can make a ghetto business card, like.
Get
Maybe
like
not.
a notebook card or something, flashcard stuff.
Go to like Vistaprint and get business cards for like $5.99. I could do this.
Exactly.
Make it look all fancy.
I'm pretty sure I have our logo someplace stored. I could do this next year. Anyways,
So
E3 this year. Getting
Yes.
back on track.
Jack Black interviewed Tim Schafer. It was quite entertaining. I'm not sure. Like, I kept wondering the whole time. I don't believe Jack Black was entirely sober while he was.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Also, Jeddy, are you on East Coast time? You are,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So you realize that when you were watching this at 10, it was happening at 7 here.
Yeah.
So that makes it even less sketchy, kind of, but
Sadly.
also more sketchy that this was happening at 7 p.m.
The witching hour.
Dun dun dun.
I thought that was funny.
When is the actual witching hour? I don't know. Like maybe
Not
that-
like midnight.
I thought like that was the joke I was going for, but like I don't know.
I don't know. You brought it up.
Well, yes, that is how questions work. So video games.
Video games.
That is-
Sadly, this is not actually from.
I was like, he doesn't look,
E3.
he looks way younger than I remember. But,
However, I am wondering if Tim Schafer was wearing the same outfit.
you know, I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't see any Tim Schafer on the streams that I watched. But I also only watch Nintendo, so that's not a surprise.
No, he was just wearing a black t-shirt. Anyway, I did watch some other E3 stuff. I saw some video games.
I do like video games.
Video games are cool.
I did. Okay, so I was actually sitting there thinking, like, man, you know, I really don't care about most of these games, just gonna be honest. I don't care about, you know, another zombie game, another, like, whoa, so dark shooter or whatever. And then I saw, and it kills me to admit this, but I saw the Super Mario with the Rabbids.
Oh, really?
The gameplay looks good.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
I love
It
how you
does.
take Super Mario Brothers, you take Raymond's Raving Rabbids,
Why?
you put them together. No, you put them
Who
together,
thought of this?
and you get XCOM.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Like,
That's what everyone's saying. Like, everyone was prepared to laugh it off, and then they saw the gameplay,
yeah.
and
Sure.
everyone was down, including
Yeah.
myself. But
But why? Why?
I don't know why.
Apparently,
because
they pitched it.
Rabbids is, popular, and so is Mario, so they just
pitched
thought,
it,
hey.
and Miyamoto liked it apparently. So
Oh,
it
Miyamoto.
happened.
I wish I could say he's the only one, but apparently not.
Apparently not.
I mean, I do really like also just sort of how it looks. Like
It does
Just,
look
like,
really nice.
being able to see the Mario characters animated in that like sort of stretchy, more cartoonish style is definitely
Yeah.
just visual. It's just visually appealing in the way that the Rabid characters aren't really. Like they can't really make use of the nice animation because they're just like white blobs. But like with the
True.
more expressive Mario characters, it actually looks pretty good. I
I
hear
love how
most people
both-
are just going to be like, "Hey, I'll just immediately replace all of my Rabid characters with Mario characters as soon as I can," and then it's like Mario versus Rabbids.
Yeah.
It's not the first time Mario's crossed over with something weird though. Remember Fortune
No.
Street,
Oh boy.
Yeah.
where you crossed like Mario and was it Final Fantasy or what did they cross? Or Dragon Warrior? Dragon Warrior. I
It
think
was Dragon Warrior. Yeah, it wasn't Final Fantasy.
You cross
I think-
Mario, a platformer, with Dragon Warrior, an RPG, and you get Monopoly.
Because
I
it
think-
makes sense.
I think it makes more sense in Japan where that was like already an existing independent game thing. So it's less that you take Mario and Dragon Warrior. It's more that you take Monopoly and just mishmash a bunch of games together inside it.
Like Fortune Street as a series was a series where you took two franchises and put them in a game, and then
Let
it was
me go
Monopoly.
see.
Or like was it like there were a bunch of Dragon Warrior games where you did Monopoly things, and then they made a Mario one, too.
Hold on, let me see, because I'm not entirely familiar with the series, but apparently it's been around since 1991.
I recall reading the same thing somewhere.
Yeah,
I will corroborate you.
I also vaguely recall reading that for some reason.
I mean, Mario's crossover with Sonic, And they did. Like, Mario crossovers always just end up being really weird things. Like, you take Mario, you take Sonic, and you get the Olympics.
Because
And the
why
Winter
not?
Olympics.
Mm-hmm. And then the next Olympics.
I think I don't think there's going to be very many more Olympics Mario games.
I don't know. They're gonna try to squeeze that for as long as
But
they
I
can.
feel like that thing you just described just now in that sentence has already happened. Like, we've already been in the stage of squeezing it out.
Also, like, how many more Olympic events can you come up? Like, you got them all. They're the same every 4 years.
Come on, didn't you watch the ribbon twirling event?
Oh my god, that's the best. That's my favorite.
Exactly.
My best friend has the London Olympic Games, and we do the ribbon twirling like whenever I go over to her house. That and the trampoline. Those are the best ones.
I've actually never played. The only ones that I first played, like the first two ones in the series, the first Olympic Games and the first Winter Olympic Games. I haven't played anything past those.
No, I've only played the one. That's it. And pretty much just the ribbon twirling. But that's a pretty pro event. So now we're just talking about video games that came out a while ago instead of E3.
We can talk about that. I actually, perhaps a little more timely, the winner of the GameCola Best Game of 10 years ago.
Wait, don't
I got excited about that.
I thought
Okay.
he was gonna say something that I didn't know, but I think I actually know that.
Oh yeah, that's right, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Wait, what would
Actually-
Diana know? What did you tell her?
Well, she had to write a thing about it.
How dare you do this to me, Jeddy? How dare you play me like this?
Now dare
What did
I...
you get to write about?
It's because you're not number one. It's because you're one number.
Anyways, what were you gonna say about the best
Yeah.
game of 10 years ago, Jeddy?
I actually... Oh, wait, no. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, now what will I say? Okay, here I was going to say that, I've been playing both the winner and the runner-up of the best game of 10 years ago, which, actually, I should have introduced this and said, I've been playing more recent games lately that are only
As in-
10 years old
yeah,
now.
they're only 10 years old. I got the joke. I get the joke, Jeddy.
And also, like, it's amazing to me because I have literally never, a week ago, played a Game Boy Advance game.
You didn't even
This
play
is-
the Crystallis Game Boy Advance game? I thought you had played
No, that was Nathaniel.
I know he played it for the channel, but I thought you
Yeah.
had played it before.
No, I still haven't touched it. In some ways, how can I say this? It's too much of an abomination for me to dare to touch. I can't imagine playing it.
Okay.
Chrysalis for the Game Boy Advance. If you guys have seen,
I've seen some of them, I think. I watched it a long time ago, but must
they
have been a
tried to
real
say
long
like the
time
names
ago.
of the swords, but it was kind of like it sounded more like the sound effect should have been on the Game Boy than the Game Boy Advance.
Okay. Anyway, what were you saying about you're just saying that you've been playing games that have only 10 years old, or was there more to the story?
I guess I was trying to decide, oh wait, oh no, now I've ruined it. Dare I say what the winners were? But I can at least talk about the one that was not the winner.
Okay.
You've narrowed it down.
Yeah. I have been playing and have been quite impressed by Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
Someone
Yes.
requested that I stream that.
It's a great
good.
game.
It's good.
It's
a lot
Which
better
one
than you would
is-
think it would be.
Yeah, wait, which one?
is it red?
the original one?
Is it red and blue?
It would be red
Blue
if it's on the
apparently,
game.
yeah, blue
Red.
apparently is for the
Oh.
DS.
Yes,
Red
it
yeah.
is. But they came out. I thought they came out around the same time.
Yeah, they
They
came
do.
out at the same time. The whole
Okay, I thought
point
so.
of it was, along with going on the line of Pokemon doing something that like is included in the functionality for the handheld consoles, but literally no one else ever does. In the DS and the DS Lite, you could put a Game Boy game and a DS game. It could play both. So there was a Game Boy game slot and a DS game slot. And so there were different. Pokemon had different things that you could do. Where, like, that's one of the ways you could transfer games from Gen 3 into Gen 4, to transfer Pokemon from Gen 3 to Gen 4, is you put the Game Boy game in the Game Boy slot and, you know, Diamond or Pearl in the DS slot, and you could transfer them. With Red and Blue, you could, like, kind of trade, maybe, and also, like, fight someone on the Game Boy version using, I think, or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but there was, like, functionality that you could do based on, like, having the cartridge in the Game Boy slot and the DS slot for each game.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I don't know, I guess I wasn't really expecting much, like, I didn't know what to expect going into it, and when I loaded it up and it said Chunsoft, like, as one of the credits, then I was like, wait a second, that's the guys that made Dragon Warrior. Apparently, this is, like, just a graphical change from an existing Dragon Warrior spin-off, but, I don't know, like, I'm really impressed by, like, the writing and the comedy and, like, they have sprites for every Pokemon. Like, all 400 whatever that were in existence at the time are, like, in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and not even just like, oh, it's a static image. It's like, there's a sleeping version, there's a walking version, there's an attacking version, like, so on and so forth. For all of the Pokemon, there's, like, I don't know.
I don't know if every single one that was there. I feel like
Most
I remember
of them.
A lot
like
of them.
If they were in a dungeon, they probably did.
No, but I mean, like, just of all the 400 or whatever Pokemon that were out at the time, I don't think all of them were in the game.
I'm not sure, because I'm pretty sure, like, even if you didn't encounter some certain Pokemon in dungeons, like, even they were the NPCs that would just, like, talk to you.
Well, you know what? I'll keep a count when I play it. I'll count them all.
Count all of them. Gotta count them
I'll make a checklist, and I'll just check them off as I find them.
Yeah.
Make sure to mark down their different sprites.
Got it. Gotta find them all.
That won't take you forever.
Yeah, I know. Because I don't even think the originals were the one that my friend requested me to stream. I think he wanted me to do Explorers of the Sky.
Yeah, that's
Time and Darkness. Time and Darkness was my favorite.
To Time and Darkness.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah, Time and Darkness is...
Never expected there to be such a great story.
Oh, good. Well, no, maybe I told them once I get through Chrono Trigger, then I will start something new.
Because, you know, like, sometimes storylines just kind of go in a straight line and it's parallel and you can kind of see how, like, it goes. But, like, in the middle of your little parallel walk, there's, like, this giant plot twist. You're like, oh... I didn't see that coming. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Good.
But, like, it's just something that you didn't expect. Like, I think I was literally crying at the end of the game because I just got so emotionally attached.
Oh no, I'm an ugly crier.
And I was like, I did not expect this from my Pokemon game.
I think that's the thing that gets me the most, is that, like, I'm so used to... And I guess I had that thought, is that, like, how many Pokemon games have I actually played? But I was surprised by, like, the story, and I guess I didn't expect that much story from, like, a Pokemon game. Maybe you guys can refute this with your Pokemon experience with games later than...
No. You are 100% correct.
I would concur.
This was definitely also, like, even, like, Black and White, which is probably the closest. Those set is probably the closest, and that hadn't come out yet. That wouldn't be out for a while. So definitely, at the time, absolutely. And even now, I would say, yeah, probably.
I mean, I haven't played them, but given what I've heard from people that have played that series and then just, like, regular Pokemon, I would also concur.
So how far have you gotten, Jeddy?
I am stuck currently. Not sure what I need to be doing.
Oh, no.
I'm at the part where Alakazam and his team are off fighting whatever it's called underground that's making earthquakes, and then Blastoise and some other guys went off to save him. Everyone I talk to in the game is just like, oh yeah, Blastoise will do it, don't worry about it. And then I go and I do some more missions, and then I go to sleep, and every day I wake up and I just read my mail. And
this is sounding very adult now.
It turns out that you're not relevant to the major plot of this story.
Yeah, I go to bed,
and then
I get my cup of coffee, and I go outside and I check the mail.
Okay, I seem to recall a similar situation. I don't, not like the story beats, but like being stuck in a thing where it's like, how many times do I have to do regular missions and like wait? Have you tried going to the? Is there a beach in that one?
Not
There's a
really.
beach in Time and Darkness. That was one in Time and Darkness. There was one time where like I was supposed to like go to the beach and like see a character there, and I just because it's not on the way to anything. Like it's off on its own separate path. So I didn't do that for a while, and then I was just like wandering around. I was like, oh, there's a really important character that's just here.
Cool.
That I need to see for the story.
Important to the story or game progression.
So my advice to you maybe is to have you tried just walking around everywhere in town?
Okay, I actually just did that earlier today. I discovered that Diglett and Dugtrio are sitting on a cliff looking out at the ocean. I talked to them. That was fun. I do really like the Diglett in one of the first missions. Diglett is stuck at the top of a mountain and has to be lifted off of the mountain by Magnemites. And Diglett said that he was very afraid when he felt his feet just touching air.
Yes, I remember that. And everyone's like, feet?
Yeah, Diglett have feet. It's confirmed.
Is that the one? Are the Diglett and the Dugtrio out by like the Sharpedo Cliff? Is that what it's called? Like, or it looks like a shark?
No, it's next to the Pelper post office.
I'm beginning to think that I just don't remember any of. I remember time like my Time and Darkness memories have replaced my Blue Rescue Team memories because I'm not remembering. I keep remembering things, but it's from the second set of games.
Except I don't even remember anything that really happened other than, like, some of the story from Time and Darkness. Maybe it's because I've played Super Mystery Dungeon, and that's the most recent Mystery Dungeon I played, so maybe that's just rewrote everything.
Is that the third one? Is it the 3D one?
Yeah, it's one of them, because there's two of them.
Oh, well, then I don't know. I didn't play either of those, but I heard they weren't as good.
I mean, it kind of sucks because the level you're at, like, it completely escalates. Like, you don't really have time to get to the same level as your opponents, so you're kind of stuck, like, trying to grind or get to the same level. It's really kind of unfair. It's still nice because I like Mystery Dungeon, but, you know, it's not as good as the other ones. Story has not been as fantastic as Time and Darkness.
Okay. Cool talk about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, guys.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at GameFAQs and trying to figure out.
Jeddy, you can look at a walkthrough later. This is the podcast.
I need to know, and they just keep saying.
Is this gonna keep you up at night?
It has been.
Okay, hey, guys, what video games are you excited to come out soon, or in a year, or in 2 years?
Near future, I suppose.
Near in quotation marks, with an asterisk. Games may or may not actually be in proximity.
Soon trademark.
Proximity. I heard a lot of us were excited for that Kirby game that's just called Kirby right now.
Yes, it looks adorable.
It does look really good.
It looks like, and it also looks like it's a combination of, like, Superstar... Mechanically, it's a combination of, like, Kirby Superstar, Kirby Returns to Dreamland, and Kirby and the Crystal Shards, which are, like, the best ones. Those are, like, the best Kirby games, and they're just... Because you can get 4-player mode, but the 4 players, instead of just being Meta Knight, Waddle Dee, and King Dedede, so basically your only options are Sword, Hammer, and Spear... It's any of the... It's you make them the same way in Superstar. You get a partner where you swallow a power and then you press a button and they turn into the enemy. So that's how you do your multiplayer mode now. So you can be any power in multiplayer mode, which is cool. And then also you've got the power mixing from Kirby and the Crystal Shards. I don't know how in depth it is, but it looks more in depth than Squeak Squad, which just had... You could do electric and ice bombs, and you could do a fire, electric, or ice sword, and those were the only combinations. So it looks cool. I like where it's going mechanically, and I'm hoping that they got rid of the super power mode from Returns to Dreamland. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Kind of.
I know what you're talking about.
It's a pain. It just slows the game down so much. It's not fun. Because whoever's Kirby just like does a thing, and then the other whoever's playing with you are just like, well, I guess we're just watching this now. It's not a good time for multiplayer, and I hope they don't put it back in because it's very slow and not really that much fun. Anybody else got opinions on Kirby game or otherwise? You're not excited for any video games at all?
Oh.
I wasn't sure we were done talking about Kirby.
I said Kirby or otherwise. How else could I say?
Well,
Sorry, I just thought that would be a terrible segue to jump off in the middle of something.
It wasn't the middle. I gave you a segue platform. I literally set out a path before you. We set out two paths. One that looped back to Kirby, and one that went to a new topic, and you could have taken either ones, but you just stood there staring at the fork in the road.
no, she was too busy derailing everything.
Exactly.
We talked about this earlier. You should have seen this coming.
Did you just ask me to make rails just so that you could derail them?
And you did it, didn't you?
You're fired from the podcast.
Oh.
How dare you? Anyways, now that it's my turn to talk. I'm excited for Xenoblade. Just saying.
The new one?
Yes.
You're not excited for the old one anymore? You're a bad fan.
Well, I'm still excited. I'm always excited for the old one, but because it's excellent. But I am very excited for this new one because it's actually, instead of like Xenoblade Chronicles X, this is actually like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Like, for real.
Isn't it also called Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Wait,
Oh,
I thought it was.
No, it is. That's what I'm saying. Like, X was kind of more like a spin-off, but this is like actually not direct. I mean, based on what we've seen in the trailer, it's not, directly continuing the story from 1, but it's going to use a lot of the same elements and a lot of the same world, which, I mean, X did too, so I don't really understand. But it just looks so beautiful, and I'm really, really excited. The music in the trailer was excellent. I may have cried a little bit at work while I was watching the trailer at my desk. My coworkers were laughing at me. I cried.
But Diana, you're missing the actually important question.
What?
Is the name of the game actually Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
Yes.
Okay, you said no at the first.
I said yes.
Is
Collie, back
everyone
me
fired from the podcast?
Back me up on this, Collie. She said no the first time I said that.
I heard a lot of yeses, and I also heard a lot of no's, so I don't know what's going
Okay,
on.
another question that's probably going to bother you, because I still don't know anything about Xenoblade Chronicles.
Same.
And I don't understand. So
Is he really feeling it?
Is he or is he not feeling it in an extreme manner? Second of all,
I certainly hope so.
does this take place in the same universe, or is it just is it like a Final Fantasy thing, sort of thing, where it's like they're not they share mechanics and kind of aesthetics, but at the same time they're just kind of all separate from each other most of the time, or is it 100 years in the future, this is what the Xenoblade world looks like, or is it this is what's his name's Underpants kid. Yeah. The Incredible Shulk. Is it his kid? And his magic sword lady? It's a magic sword lady, right? I'm pretty sure that's the only thing I got, was that it was a magic sword lady.
You would have hated watching that with me, because I know nothing about Xenoblade, but was sticking around through it anyway, because Nintendo. And I was just renaming all the characters based on, what they were doing. I don't know, what's the main character's name?
In what, the old one or the new one?
The one that's coming out.
Rex.
Oh, I called him, Kingdom Hearts Pants.
He does kind of look like the guy from Kingdom Hearts, I will give you that.
And wasn't there a dog? I think I called him Space Doggo. Because
There may have been a dog. I don't remember.
I had no idea what was going on, and I was so confused. And I was just kind of I don't know, that sword lady person?
Yeah, I think she's a sword. I'm pretty sure she's a sword.
The sense that I got from the trailer is that it's going to be new. The characters are all going to be new, and the world looks different, but I feel like it's going to have the same kind of elements. Like, it looks like the environment looks the same, so, like, maybe we're going to have a environment similar to the initial Bionis Trek in Xenoblade 1, because I'm looking at the cover of the game right now, and it looks incredibly reminiscent to the original Xenoblade. So I'm thinking and in Xenoblade X, I didn't actually play it, but from what I saw of the game, it was a lot more flat and then, like, spread out. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, Xenoblade, or the original and probably this one, are huge games, but in Xenoblade 1, you're, like, climbing up something, and then I feel like this is going to be more of that, if that makes sense.
So basically, it's like when you have a regular Minecraft server, and then you have a Minecraft server that goes into Amplified?
Possibly?
Is that what this is?
I just feel like
Polly, with the analogy of the century.
Xenoblade X was good, but it wasn't exactly what the fans wanted. We wanted something that was more exactly in line with what we got out of the original, and I think that's what they're giving us here, which is good because that's what we want. I have faith that it's going to be excellent because the first one was excellent, and I'm very excited.
You didn't like Xenoblade Chronicles excellent?
I didn't see that much of it. I was trying to keep it. I was trying to not watch it, like, at all, because I thought maybe eventually I'd get a Wii U and I'd play it, but now I have a Switch, so I'm probably not going to get a Wii U, so now I can watch someone play it if I want to. But from what I heard from, like, the fans, it wasn't as well received as the original. Like, because, honestly, I don't think you can compare anything to that game. You can't compare anything to the original Xenoblade. It's not comparable to anything else. So I feel like that may have had something to do with it, but I feel like this has promise. I'm excited. And then clearly, because I cried during the trailer, I'm excited.
Well,
Gameplay looked good.
Well, based on where things are going, I would imagine that, like, just by owning a Switch, you will eventually have access to Xenoblade Chronicles X, because literally every Wii U game is being re-released for the Switch.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm not worried.
Because no one bought a Wii U.
Well, I was also going to ask are there games for the Switch? Because I was recently happened to be in a Toys R Us, and I decided to look at the video games section.
It's a good question.
They had approximately, I believe, 8.
Yeah, there's not a lot yet, but they have... The thing is, they have planned out the rest of their year.
Okay.
And, like, Nintendo's planned out the rest of their year, and there will be at least, like, one huge game released, like, per month until the end of the year.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I think that's pretty impressive given the sheer volume of games that they're, like, making right now between Super Mario, like, Odyssey and Xenoblade and the new Fire Emblem game. God bless everything, everywhere. I am getting that. Holy crap, everyone
those horse
hot
physics, though. Did you see those horse physics? That horse was the real hero of that game.
Are you guys talking about the...
From and Ryoma and Xander in a row. Slay me. First of all.
Are you guys talking about the Dynasty Warriors?
Yes.
I saw that.
If that's the name of the game,
Dynasty Warriors is like the new Lego.
Yeah, it is,
Like,
really. See, they didn't sell me with the Zelda one. I was this close to getting the Zelda one for the 3DS, but then I was like, you know what? No, it's alright. Like, I'm sure it's gonna be laggy as heck on the 3DS. I don't want to deal with that, and I don't have a Wii U. But now that I have Fire Emblem in front of me, with all of my husbands confirmed for the game, I'm like, well, out of loyalty, I gotta buy this. So, I'm gonna buy it.
Wasn't there another one? I feel like
they got me with this one.
I feel like there was another one in between this.
Was there?
I feel like there was another Dragon Warrior. Or not Dragon Warrior.
Dragon Warrior?
Maybe there was. Maybe it was a Dragon Warrior Dynasty Warriors.
There might have been. I feel like there may have been. Here, wait. Hang on. I'm gonna look up.
I'm pretty sure there was another Dynasty Warriors similar type game before Fire Emblem was announced. But maybe I'm just remembering when Fire Emblem Dynasty Warriors was announced.
It was announced a while back.
and then
that they were going to be doing this.
Just sort of exact, like, when you announce a game like that, even if they didn't have, like, a lot of footage, like, it's gonna be a Dynasty Warriors game with Fire Emblem characters in it. So, like, I probably just pictured exactly what they had, because it's not difficult to picture that.
Let's see. Okay, I have the list in front of me of all the games they're going to be releasing for the rest of the year for the Switch. We got, so, next month, July, they're releasing Splatoon 2, which I'll probably buy.
Splatoon,
yes. August is Mario and Rabbids, which is pretty soon, all things considered. September is Pokken Tournament DX, which I didn't even know was a thing until E3.
Yep.
That's another one where it's like, oh yeah, that's the good game for the Wii U that no one bought because no one had a Wii U, so they're just gonna put it on the Switch instead.
I just honestly didn't even know they were making a new one.
It's
I
not
just
a
like
new
the
one.
name.
It's
Like,
not a new one. It's like Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8's already out.
No, but I'm saying it's like Mario Kart 8.
Oh, it's like Mario Kart 8. Oh, yeah. And then
I guess.
October is Super Mario Odyssey, which comes out the day before my birthday.
Yeah,
which
that's
is great.
that's a lot earlier than I thought it was going to come out.
I thought it wasn't going to be till like next year. But
I
then
thought it
when
was gonna be, like,
Nintendo
late
announced they were
November.
only going to be showing stuff that was going to be done this year, and they started showing it, I was like, oh man, that's
Wait,
crazy.
That's not true. They showed...
No, they
Except-
talk
Oh, you
about
mean-
like
They talked about Pokemon. Well, they didn't.
that Pokemon RPG thing isn't going to be until like I don't even know when, and then that Kirby
Did
game
they
they
just
talked
show
about.
that?
No. They were just like, hey.
Maybe they meant on the show. Well, that doesn't.
Yeah, I would think
they
on
just,
the
like,
show for
They
it.
literally just like talked about it. They're like, oh hey,
Yeah,
there's
they
gonna be like a
didn't show
Pokemon
it.
RPG, and there's
And they
like
didn't
some
even-
guy just sitting there drawing. I don't know.
They
didn't
didn't
show
even
that.
talk about Metroid 4. They just showed
They didn't show-
Metroid Prime 4.
I
They
think
just
maybe
showed
they,
the
we gotta
thing.
talk about that in a minute.
There's nothing to talk about. It was literally just like...
But I'm excited.
Everyone lost it. The only thing I'm happy about is the squishy amiibo.
Oh my god, yes. That's
Okay,
fine.
so-
I don't care.
So nobody cares about Metroid Prime. What I care about
I
is
care
Metroid 2: Return of Samus.
That's the 3DS one, right?
Yeah, that's coming out for the 3DS, and I think it's before the end of the year as well.
Because, as you know, GameCola fans may recall from previous discussions, previous podcasts, the most recent Metroid game that I played is Metroid 2: Return of Samus on the Game Boy.
Ooh.
So they're
That is
bringing it
exciting.
back.
Which is interesting because, like, people, like, do you remember the story about, it was called Another Metroid 2 Remake?
Yeah.
And then,
That's,
like, it
that's
was a
the
fan
drama.
game, and then it got released, and the day it released, Nintendo sent out a cease and desist.
Yep.
Makes a little bit more sense now.
Because they were working
Because
on
they
this
were
the whole
making
time.
their own.
Like, no, you're not stealing no spotlight.
Before that, honestly.
I've also heard people theorizing that the only reason that they brought up Metroid Prime 4 was they thought that people were going to be really upset if all they announced about Metroid was the Metroid 2 remake on 3DS. So they were like,
That
okay,
wouldn't surprise me.
We're working on the console one. Also, here's the handheld one.
Let's say
that we're
people
almost
seem
done
pretty pumped about that one.
Yeah, I know. People seem excited enough, but I agree. It would have been a gamble to just announce a remake, and also just for the 3DS and not for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they've announced one for the Switch, I feel like people will get hyped for
People
both
calm down a
equally.
little bit, not to get upset about it.
Yeah,
It's still also just a title card, though.
yeah.
Like,
But
it's
you
still-
know, at
it's
least we
still-
know it's coming.
It could still be like, just because they call it Metroid Prime 4 doesn't mean that it's not going to be just because they call it Metroid Prime 4 doesn't mean that it's not going to be Metroid Other M2.
Don't.
Metroid
They
the
gotta
actual
know.
M.
I'm just saying, like, you don't know.
So anyway, to finish off the year, we have Fire Emblem in November, God bless, and December is Xenoblade, which is also sooner than I thought it would be. I definitely didn't. I thought Xenoblade would come out maybe early next year at the soonest, but I'm super pumped.
Yeah,
I'm glad I got a Switch when I did.
Are we ready to transition over to Mario Odyssey? Because I have a lot to say about Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jeddy, have you seen the Mario Odyssey trailer?
Is this a good thing or a
Yeah.
bad thing, Joe?
I mean, I saw them playing it. Like, I saw...
But did you see the trailer?
You
I
would know
think
if you
so.
saw
It
the
was a-
trailer.
It was a while ago, though.
Did you see the thing where it, like, we didn't even know what it was a trailer for, and it like opened up on a grassy field, and a
I thought it was another
Tyrannosaurus
thing of, like,
Rex. The
Oh,
Tyrannosaurus Rex walked on screen, and you're like, what is this game about a T-Rex?
Jurassic
and then
Park.
it
I
goes
thought it was
up,
Jurassic Park.
and there's a Mario hat on it, and then Mario jumps out of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, because in Mario Odyssey, you can control the minds of other creatures.
You know, I would
I don't-
also just like to add with the backgrounds, I don't know if you noticed, but everyone was wearing a hat.
Yes,
Literally
I did see that.
everyone. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Because they know that's how they
Don't
denote. That's how they denote whether or not you can take over someone. If they're wearing a hat, you
they're
can't take
wearing a
over their
hat.
mind.
Oh my god. I was like, okay, not many people
I
wear
can steal your hat and make it my hat, which makes it better.
Oh god.
I don't know. I still get it.
No, it's good. No, I'm
I'm
down with. Yeah,
Like,
I'm not. That's
no,
not a complaint.
I
looked-
want to just to take control of a car and like cause mayhem. That's gonna
looks
be the
great.
best part.
It looks
It
great.
looked, yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. I liked how there was a little more customization with characters. Like,
Mhm.
not just the overalls. Like, you know, he was, I think in the treehouse they were showing the, like, he was wearing a sombrero and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And I was
Oh, yeah.
like, that looks really cool.
And then like the safari outfit.
I
I'm
guess
pumped.
I guess my question is, where are they going to go with the naming scheme as time goes on? Like, I guess they've already departed. They didn't go from Super Mario Galaxy to Super Mario Universe, which was like the obvious one.
But
Yeah.
like conceptually, that kind of seems like what this is.
Mario
agree.
Odyssey X.
Because Super Mario Galaxy, you go from galaxy to galaxy. In Super Mario Odyssey, you are kind of. It does kind of look like you're going from universe to universe. It doesn't look like you're in like one cohesive space. But I don't
Maybe
know.
you
Like
are.
it's weird because you go to New Donk City and Pauline is there,
I can't take that name seriously though.
and
New
Pauline
Donk
is
City.
there though. So like, what is
New
that? What are
Donk.
the implications of that in a
The
main series
implication
Mario?
is that
game?
this is going to turn into King Kong, and we're going to see Donkey Kong climbing up the tower to get Pauline.
But like,
Done.
here's
Yeah, well-
the thing. Yeah, like who? Like, are we gonna
Yeah.
talk about like?
Okay, is she like his ex?
I
Like, is
don't
it gonna-
know. I want clarification on that issue.
You probably will never get clarification. It's going to be like
And
lore.
also like the whole thing where like Cranky Kong is supposed to be the original Donkey Kong, but
What?
Oh yeah.
also Mario is not an old man.
Yeah, that's a little odd.
Time travel.
I'm really confused, guys.
I mean, he did go to space and back. That doesn't resolve anything. I'm just saying that happened.
Video games shouldn't be this confusing.
But really, though, is anyone going to want to see, like, an old Mario? Just
I'm
like...
not complaining about old Mario. That's not my point. I'm just confused about how this universe functions.
It doesn't function.
We'll find out how it functions, maybe. Hopefully. Maybe.
Like, are we
I
going
don't
to
know.
go and say that we're going to go back to Mario grew up in, like, a regular type city and then entered the Mushroom Kingdom? Are we going back to that storyline?
I don't
Where
know,
he's
man.
a plumber from, like, New York or something?
Maybe
Like, what?
when you enter, the Mushroom Kingdom, you stop aging.
Maybe.
What is this,
But then why would
Neverland?
Pauline... Why would Pauline...
Oh.
And then
Oh,
also...
man.
And then also, that's the Donkey Kong universe. Is-
Donkey Kong universe ages. Obviously,
Yeah.
the Mario one's like Neverland and
But is
Bowser's
the Donkey
just
Kong
Captain
universe
Hook.
the same as the Mario universe?
Apparently not.
Because it doesn't. Is the Donkey
What?
Kong universe like a dystopian Mario future?
I don't know.
I'm so confused. I'm so confused, guys. Help.
Guess we'll never know.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
what?
Do you wanna answer some totally
Yes.
Facebook questions?
Sure.
Sure, I'd love to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've
I'm
got
sorry, I got really distracted near the end of that discussion because I was looking at that, the schedule of things, and I just happened to zoom in on the Fire Emblem Warriors cover, and Chrom and Ryoma just happened to be right next to each other, so I just got distracted. they're my
we've got 4 questions.
You don't care.
We've got 4 questions that are the most important thing to talk about right now. And,
Not my terrible husband?
And the first one comes from Daniel Dugovic. I think that's how you would say that.
Yeah.
Dugovic?
Roll with it.
Anyway, the first question is that, and it says, does anyone have opinions about the Yooka-Laylee Kickstarter, which delayed the initial release, and just yesterday, when this person wrote the thing, released a larger patch on PC?
I did hear a little bit about this. I don't really necessarily have an opinion on it. I do think from what I haven't seen a lot of Yooka-Laylee, just to clarify. But from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. I'm glad that they released the patch because apparently it fixed a lot of issues that something maybe to do with the camera, I think. I read a little bit about it today at work.
Pretty bad.
Oh, so it was like Sonic Adventure 2 cameras.
Oh, God.
That's what I heard. That's basically what I heard. Just in general...
I mean, if the question is, I guess, like, it's a good thing that they released the patch.
Hey, patches are always good if they're going to fix issues, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when it comes to the quality of the games, like that's always up to the developer, and I'm not gonna cut anyone like a lot of slack on that. When it comes to release dates with Kickstarter things, I feel like it's one of those situations where it's based on how it's different. I feel like most game companies, there are release window situations, but also like I feel like it's different. There's a little more flexibility. Like when someone pitches a game to a publisher, right? Or like you're a game studio and you say, "This is the game we want to make. This is when we think we're going to finish." I feel like that date can like move around and is also like sort of determined by marketing more than the people who are like sort of running the project. And with Kickstarter, and I don't know, I'm not a games industry person, so I can't say for sure, but I feel like with Kickstarter, you kind of have to like say like, this is when we think we're going to be done with the game, but it's almost always like their best guess, but like they don't really know because it's almost always like not necessarily like, obviously with Yooka-Laylee they were all industry veterans, but at the same time this was the first time they were working together on a project like this in this environment.
Yeah.
And you have to make like a prediction of like several years in the future of when you're going to be finished with this thing.
And sometimes things go wrong. I mean, sometimes you have setbacks that you can't foresee. You think something is going to be easier than it is, and then you really start getting into the project and you're like, oh, this is going to take a lot longer than we thought because of X and Y variables.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, I think what matters is they got the patch out in a timely manner, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I wrote an article for GameCola, something to the effect of coming 2015 or something like that. And all of the games listed there were released like a year or two later. Like games on Kickstarter.
It happens.
I mean, and again, like as you were saying, most games when they announce a release date, they're like 90% of the way through, not like 10% of the way through.
Yeah.
Or not even started.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't be so bold to be like, oh no, yeah, we're like 5% of the way done with this game. Yeah, we can push that to like later this year. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just Kickstarter doesn't have that luxury.
Slap a release date on that and call it a day.
It's all good. So that's that.
That's
okay.
Our
opinion.
So let's go to the second question we have. This one was submitted by GameCola superfan Daniel Dugovic. And it's what is your high score in the Google Chrome There is no internet connection minigame. Does everyone know what we're talking about here? I know exactly what we're talking about.
No idea what you were talking about.
Yeah, no.
The problem is that you can't test it now because you're on a podcast and you need the internet. But if you later, and if you're listening, you can do this too later. Don't do it now because we want you to keep listening to the podcast and you might need the internet for that.
Well, maybe they're listening on their
mobile
iPod.
device.
Yeah.
Well, then they can't do it.
Well, if
They
they
could
have
on the
4G and they want to use their data, let them use it as they please.
No, because it's a browser thing.
Well,
so
no,
if you're
but-
in Chrome,
But they can
I know
listen.
what you're saying, Jeddy.
No, but I mean they can listen.
This bit needs to be done, and we need to move on. The bit is over. I understand what you're saying. I was making a goof. I'm sorry it wasn't as good as you wanted it to be. Let's move on.
You savage!
Someone's getting feisty over here.
It wasn't
savage.
even
I was
me this
insulting
time.
myself. I was insulting myself. What do you mean
I
savage?
didn't even derail you.
You don't need everything's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just go on. Just continue.
Okay. It's so if you have your browser and the internet's down, you can, if you press like spacebar, the little dinosaur that's there will start running across, and it's basically like it's one of those Flash games where you just have to jump over like the obstacles that come in your path.
That's what the dinosaur's for.
And that's the game. I played it. I've definitely played it before when I was waiting for the internet to come back on something, but I don't know what my high score is.
Usually I just run to the router and unplug it. Try to get the internet back.
Me too.
I've definitely gotten like a couple thousand, like I want to say like 2,000 or 3,000 points.
Wow. That's impressive.
I've done pretty well. Where you get to watch like the phases of the moon as it goes by.
Ooh.
The day and night cycle and stuff.
That's pretty sweet. Not gonna lie.
All hardcore.
Hardcore.
Alright, I think we can go on to the next question.
Alright, so the next question is comes to us from Daniel Dugovic.
Okay.
And it is, what are good markets to find outside the mainstream games? Jeddy, I think you might be able to answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Japan.
Go to Japan. Answered.
Done. Get your ticket, go to Japan, get all the stuff, come back, profit.
I don't know, I mean, I guess I was also thinking of that while I was at Toys R Us, is like, you know, on the first few shelves, it's like at eye level, but then way down there that like I literally couldn't see what the titles were. I had to like duck down, and I was like, oh, there are some games, you know, for the Switch or whatever. They're just like ones you've never heard of, and they kind of look bad.
And they kind of look bad. Alright.
Another one, of course, is itch.io. itch.io.
Yeah.
That's still a website. It's still a great place to get indie games. You're not even limited to just the stuff on the front page, which is all like the top of the top, but you can go to like free games, games under $5, whatever you want. Go by
There's
genre.
There's also Indie Gala. Indie Gala is a great place to get indie games. Usually they hold sales too, so that's awesome. So you can get nice indie games for pretty good prices. It helps your wallet.
What is it? GOG? GOG? However you want to say that one. If you like older games, is a good place.
Nice.
Woot.
Yeah. There's some games out there.
There are some.
There's a good place. Like,
games.
I mean, Steam has a lot of good indie games too. You just gotta, I mean, you kind of have to look for them a little bit, but I mean, you can search by genre. I'm pretty sure indie is a genre, so
It is.
you can find a lot of cool indie games on Steam. There's a ton of them. There's a lot more than people would think that are actually on there. Some better than others.
Definitely look for the ones that say like pre-alpha, because then you're gonna get the best deal.
Quality.
The best quality deal.
right
You're gonna get like early access, and you're gonna get all the cool content before everyone else does, because it worked for Minecraft. So that means it'll work for literally every other game that exists.
Like,
I'll let you do that.
Yeah, you can take a lead on that one.
And when we say outside the mainstream, the best part of this is it's before the mainstream.
Yeah, it's not even a stream yet.
Yeah, so get on that. Be the stream.
Be cool before the kids are cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was playing this game before it was mainstream.
Like, imagine the Grand Canyon before it was eroded away.
Yeah.
That's how early you're getting. And
yeah.
the stream hasn't even like
that just made you sound really old. Like, were you there before the Grand Canyon was formed?
I was. What do you mean? I'm not old. Just because I was alive before the Grand Canyon formed. You think I'm old?
Oh, my bad.
Your
oldness.
Days. I tell you what.
How long did it take?
Well, erosion is a very slow geologic process. Well, I mean, I guess it depends.
Oh, wow, it just showed up.
All right,
Answers.com will tell me.
Did you ask Jeeves?
Oh, God. Oh, I remember that.
I'm not sure if I can trust that.
No, we don't. We can just ask Joseph when this happened.
Yeah,
he was
but
there.
He might lie to us.
That's true. He might lie.
I don't know. I don't what? Just remember the day that the Grand Canyon started.
But you were
come
there.
On. Yeah, but not I was there before it started.
Yeah,
I wasn't there when it started.
I'm disappointed in you. You should have remembered.
Well, we didn't it was outside the mainstream. We didn't know that the Grand Canyon was going to be big.
Answered by generic U.S. citizen. Thank you, generic U.S. citizen. The Grand Canyon, as we know it today, there shouldn't be a comma there, was formed over a period of 18 million years.
Yep.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right, I think.
What the Grand Canyon looks like is it's a term called differential weathering. So which means all the rocks that were there were under the same environmental conditions, yet they all eroded differently. So you get really cool geologic features like that.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So Joseph.
Yes.
Has Daniel Dugovic asked us any more questions?
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm just going through everyone who sent us a question. How did you know? This last question is from Daniel Dugovic. How did you know?
What?
Whoa.
Jeddy.
The other questions couldn't have been Daniel Dugovic because this one says, I don't have a question. But Steam Summer Sale, ?
Yes.
Are you ready for a miracle?
Ready as I can be.
Has anyone bought anything?
Yep.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about that?
I mean, my answer is boring.
You can still say it.
I bought officially the Mega Man Legacy Collection.
Nice.
Cool.
And I officially bought Mighty Number 9.
Oh. Are you sure you wanted to do that?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because I'm writing I don't think it's that much of a spoiler to say that I am writing about it for the GameCola Awards. And I had played the demo, which is why I felt comfortable enough nominating it and voting for it. But if I'm gonna write the thing, I want to play it a little bit more in full.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
Yeah.
Passing judgment. So I've played a little bit of it. My opinion has not increased. I will say.
No spoilers on the award that it won.
Yeah, no spoilers.
No spoilers. I don't think. No one will be able to guess.
No one will know.
It's a mystery.
What could it have been?
You'll mind that I spoiled that, Jeddy? What? Can I leave that in the podcast?
Did you buy any games, Jeddy?
No.
He still has a lot of games from Japan, to be fair.
Yeah. No,
I have a lot of games in my Steam library. That didn't stop me from buying anything this summer.
Yeah. True. What'd you buy, Colee?
I bought the game called Hidden in Plain Sight.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
It is a local co-op only game, and I've played this before with some friends, and we had a good old time. But since it's local co-op, you really only need one person to have the game. So I wanted to have a copy, so when I had friends over and wanted to play, I could do that. And so basically, you have to try and win the game without looking like you're trying to win the game. Because if it looks like you're trying to win the game, you're going to lose. Because everyone's going to be able to find you, single you out, and take you out. So, basically, I think it's only, max is 4 people. So you have 4 people, and you have a bunch of CPUs. And no one's name tagged or anything like player 1 or anything. So you have to find yourself first in this just crowd of people. And once you find yourself, which sometimes admittedly takes a little bit of time, without trying to be too obvious, once you find yourself, you have to try and start winning the game. And there's a couple different game modes, and it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. It's $1, I think 12 or 19 right now. So
wait, how do you win or prevent someone from winning?
Yeah.
You can knock people out. For example, there's one mode where there's 5 statues, and you have to touch the 5 statues to win. And
do you have a certain number of people that you can knock out, or can you just start punching? Can you just come out swinging?
You can come out swinging, but then it's obvious that it's a human player, so someone can just come right behind you and karate chop you, literally people karate chop. And so the 5 statue one, you just touch the different statues, and if, no one gets knocked out, the first person to touch all 5 wins. But the last person standing, if that's, like, the route you want to go, if everyone else gets KO'd, then the person who didn't get KO'd wins.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
At
I don't
first,
know if I have friends that would play that with me, but it sounds cool.
I saw it and I was like, this kind of looks like alright. And I'm watching this, I'm like, wait, no, this looks really fun. And I told my friend, I'm like, dude, we gotta get this game. And he's like, oh yeah, it's cheap, I'll buy it. It's like, I think, not on sale, it's like $5. And like, we were playing it and we just had a ball. We've had hours of fun with this game. So I would definitely recommend it. If you're looking for a good game to play with your friends, your local friends, definitely pick that up. It is a good, fun one.
It's only local multiplayer, though?
Yes, it is only local.
Well, I feel like it might not work otherwise.
Yeah.
Why not?
If I'm understanding how the game works, like, you kind of have to be able to, like, see what the people around you are doing in order to identify them.
Sometimes you can cheat. You can, like, look at someone's controller and, like, look back at the screen and, like, match movements. I don't think I've done that, but it is still a viable strategy.
Oh. That was completely all I would have done. So that's awkward.
But like,
that's
you
what
could
screen
still just
cheats
have to
for.
discern the movement.
True.
Screen cheats all about looking at other people's screens and seeing where they are.
Exactly. So as for me, I have not actually bought anything for myself in the summer sale. I have had one game bought for me, and I bought a game for someone. I had The Wolf Among Us bought for me by one of my good friends, which I'm super pumped about playing eventually, because I've heard that it's really good, and it's very much, like Walking Dead type stuff like I've done before, so I'll probably do it on my channel, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Do it blind, of course. And then I bought, I'm going to be seeing my friend Masay and Ella at Anime Expo this weekend as of recording this podcast. And I usually buy her something. And this year I decided I wanted to buy her Holiday Star, the Hatoful Boyfriend sequel.
Oh, yes.
Because she has the first one, but she didn't even know there was a sequel. So I bought her the sequel, and I sent her a message with it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you're going to hate me after this. And she's like, no, I could never hate. I'm like, no, you don't know. You don't understand. You're going to hate me. So I bought that for her. I bought her the collector's edition because it was like $3.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, everyone should go buy it because the collector's edition is $3.
Anna bought me something, and I also bought her something. Usually we exchange gifts during the summer sale.
I mean, why not? Everything's really cheap.
Exactly.
But I'm trying to save my money for Anime Expo, and the summer sale always happens right before Anime Expo. So I don't want to spend all my money on Steam games, but I do. But I don't.
That just means you gotta save a little extra more.
Well, I would have gotten paid tomorrow, but I'm not working. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind before I go to Anime Expo. But as of right now, I don't think I'm going to buy anything else. And then maybe after Anime Expo, I'll see. Because I think it goes on a little bit after Anime Expo, if I recall correctly. We'll see. So yeah, that's the summer sale.
Mm-hmm.
So the answer to that question is yes.
Summer sale is a thing.
Sale.
It is happening. There are stickers.
There are stickers.
Which I kind of fangirled a little bit. Because I was like, what stickers? I was like really excited.
They are pretty cool. I have seen them.
I think it's cool that they like incorporated all like these like different video games. Like there's characters from Cave Story, and there's characters from Life is Strange. There's characters from BioShock. Just like all the different universes that they just kind of put together.
I love it.
It's really cool. Excellent. It's not as good as that one mini game they did a couple of years ago. That will never. Oh, the memory of that.
About that.
People learned how to exploit that. Oh, it was just bad.
Oh yeah.
It was just bad.
Video games.
Video game.
Yeah.
So, one more thing before we wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Diana.
That's my name.
You have a new video game console. Because
do.
unlike the rest of the GameCola staff, you stay active and up to date on current gaming trends, I guess.
Well, yeah, I try. I mean,
What's
it's
that
been
like?
a while.
What's that like? What's it like owning the Nintendo Switch? Something that I think is still unique to you as a GameCola staff member.
Yeah, I think I might be the only one that owns one. It's great. I really love the Switch so far. The only game I have for it is Breath of the Wild. Let's just lay that down right now. But I have been playing it pretty much nonstop for the past, couple weeks. And the thing that I think is great, especially given that I'm home for the summer, so I'm with my family. And my family has an issue with sharing the big TV. So I was like, yo, I just opened my new video game console. I'm going to play it on the big TV real quick. Nobody stopped me. I'm going to do this. And then my family came out. We're like, excuse me. No, you need to leave. We want to watch TV.
Why?
But guess what? I have a small screen, so I can still play. Bam. That's the best part of the Switch for right now, because honestly, my family never lets me have the TV.
Why?
And thus, video games were solved forever.
It's because my family are not gamers, so they don't understand.
I don't know. I mean, it's just still so rough. Come on, guys, you can't just let me have this one moment.
They let me have it for 2 hours the first night that I got it.
Okay.
So I got to play the first part of Breath of the Wild on my big TV.
I thought you meant that you set it up, and then they came in with popcorn in hand, and were like, well, we're already.
Well, they did actually, but I was like, no, you're gonna let me have this. And then my sisters were being annoying and singing the whole time, so the experience was a little ruined. I was kind of pissed, to be honest, but I got over it. And now I've just been, at this point, I'm not even trying anymore. I'm just I don't feel like fighting. I don't care. So I'll just play it on the small screen, which it still looks just as great on the small screen. I'm very happy with it. So I don't mind. The only mishap I've had so far is I accidentally attached one of the on the Switch you can detach the control the side controllers and put them on the remotes, so you can just hold it in your hand when you're playing it on the TV.
Yeah.
I accidentally attached one of them to the controllers upside down because I wasn't paying attention, and I had to get it off. That was a little difficult. I ended up kind of severely scratching myself up the very first night I had my Switch.
No.
I was like, this is something I would do. It's me. Let's be honest. But I'm absolutely adoring Breath of the Wild. I've been playing for probably ever now. I don't even know what my playtime is. I could probably check. It's right next to me. But I have completed a grand total of 1 out of the 4 main missions. And it's because I get so distracted. How do I see my playtime on this thing? Okay, well I can't find it. I don't know how I see my playtime. But that is, that's all I've been doing for a while. So if we segue into games we've been playing, that's it. That's the answer. 40 hours. That's how much time I've put into to Breath of the Wild. I've done 1 main objective. It's kind of sad.
But also kind of the point, I think.
Yeah, I do agree. It is also kind of the point. It's gorgeous. It's all I could have wanted, honestly, from the Zelda game. I'm very happy with it. So, yeah, Switch is great. Everyone should get one, if they can. Find one. It's fun. And I've heard that Mario Kart is great, too, and that's what I want to get next. So, I need to get a hold of Mario Kart. Do you want to know anything else about my Switch?
I think that's good for now. We can talk about it more in the far off future of podcast 100 and X.
You mean when I have Fire?
I mean, not
we
that
can talk
far.
about Fire Emblem.
That's December. That's 6 podcasts from now.
It could be November.
It's
I don't know.
Still probably 6 podcasts from now because
don't remind me how long it's going to take for that game to come out.
6
Be right.
podcasts.
I hate you.
Jeddy, was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon basically the video game you've been playing in recent times?
For the most part, yes. Next podcast, I'll have more to talk about with other games.
Okay.
Hooray!
Good to know. I'll wrap us up with just talking about... So, along with my regular Overwatch playing,
Yes.
my roommate and I have been playing through Lego Star Wars on the GameCube.
Ooh, fun.
And, well, it's the first one, and it's not as good as I remember.
Oh.
Now, it definitely, like, the things that I remember being good about it are still good. Like, I like the level design and the pacing of it a lot better than, like, Lego Indiana Jones and then, like, Lego Avengers, I think is one of the... And, like, the more recent ones where there's just all these, like, odds and ends, and it's just, like, very narrative and railroady, which just doesn't seem like what a Lego game should be. But I did forget that it doesn't control very well. It's very slippery. Like, you will jump on a platform and then you'll just kind of, like, slide off of it. And it's very, like, it's very difficult to, like, land
a little
where you
odd.
want to land. And it's just, it's actually kind of tricky to control. I think Lego Star Wars 2 must have fixed it and must be what I remember more liking. But it was just, and when I was younger, I probably had a greater tolerance for that. But yeah, it's just, like, kind of frustrating to control a lot of the time.
Interesting.
But it's still, like, definitely a great groundwork, and definitely, you know, was a good design to keep going forward. Now we have Lego Dimensions, which is just, like, everything. All
That's
of the video
good.
games.
Maybe.
and
I don't know. I
movies.
haven't played that many Lego games, to be quite honest with you.
Lego Dimensions is, like, a thing where it's just, like, it's a whole bunch of different franchises that just have, like, level packs.
Is it like that Disney thing?
I think it's kind of like that.
Okay. I mean, I don't know much about that Disney thing either, but...
So are we good? Are we good to wrap things up?
I think we're good.
Let's...
We're probably good, because I just started playing Breath of the Wild again.
Okay. So, let me tell everyone that thank you for listening to this edition of the GameCola podcast. I'm going to speak softly now and more content, because apparently people thought I was getting too loud and angry this podcast. So we'll end on a calm note, even though I was just trying to keep the energy up and keep things fun and spicy, but I didn't mean to hurt anyone's feelings. So, I'm sorry. I deeply apologize. Thank you for listening to this edition of the GameCola podcast. If you like what you heard, you can check us out on our actual internet website, GameCola.net. The letter G, the letter A, the letter M, the letter E, the letter C, the letter O, the letter L, the letter A, the punctuation mark, period, and then net, like a fishnet. You can also check us out on our YouTube channel, gc.net, the letter G, the letter C, the word dot, and the word net.
I think this is how the podcast should always be.
I'm creeped out.
I like it.
Two different reactions.
I'm very creeped out by this. I don't know. There's part of me that's uncomfortable.
We
If
can have this
you-
podcast.
If you would like to see more from GameCola, you can follow us on social media, such as Twitter and Facebook. Just search GameCola. I believe in you. You can do it.
Now I'm really creeped out.
You can also find us on iTunes if you like the podcast. But if you don't like the podcast, get out.
Oh my god!
Or
That
just
was
don't rate us on
aggressive.
iTunes. Just don't rate us on iTunes. Well, Diana, come on. You gotta pick one. Like, I tried being nice and calm. I tried being aggressive.
You have to have a
I
middle
tried
ground.
being loud and funny. I don't know what you want from me.
A middle ground!
That's not high energy enough. I need to make a strong choice. I can't just be average. Fine. Just completely middle ground, alright? Just
Yeah.
nothing. Completely zero. Okay, here we go. We'll
True
finish things
neutral.
off.
True neutral.
If you would like to email us questions on the GameCola podcast, you can do so by checking out things on Facebook or Twitter when Anna, our social media trash queen, gives out the questions on the
fixed the
Facebook and
podcast.
the Twitter and says that you can ask us questions like our good friends Daniel Dugovic, or Daniel Dugovic. You can also send us questions to the GameCola email, podcast@gamecola.net.
Is this what you sound like at work?
This is what I
No.
sound like at work.
This is not. You sound like me? You sound like
I
me
sound
with
super
an
monotone like
enthusiastic
that.
Joseph Martin at work, Diana?
I sound super monotone like that.
Thank you, actually, for listening to the
Thank
GameCola
you.
podcast. Have a lovely day, a lovely night, or a lovely whatever time of day it is, wherever you are, whenever you're listening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Sweet.
I just can't win with you, Diana.
Love
try.
you.
I try so
Love
hard.
you so much.
And all you do is just criticize.
I'm a little busy. I'm fighting some Azal foes. We could continue this later.